1993 Ford SVT Lightning, 62,000 miles, Vortex supercharged. Let's take it for a test drive. Hard to go wrong with a supercharged first generation Lightning. This is a 1993 SVT Lightning with a documented 62,339 miles. It is a clean Carfax, no accidents or damage reported. I also have the Marty report, the door tag, and just a really cool spec'd out Lightning. It's got some really cool period correct modifications. It retains its original numbers matching 351 Windsor. In the stock configuration in 93, they were rated at 240 horsepower and 340 foot-pounds of torque. So in stock, they ran well. They were really fun trucks. But this one obviously has got some modifications. It has an aftermarket V1 Vortex supercharger. Not a crazy setup. It's kind of on a conservative setup right now. It doesn't make a ton of boost, but definitely runs better than it would have from the factory. Just a really fun truck to drive. It drives like a stock one until you really get in the throttle. We're gonna let the temperature come up a little bit more before we really get into the acceleration, but an awesome driving Lightning, backed by the E40D automatic overdrive transmissions that these Lightnings came with. Shifts great. You can cruise it at 70 miles an hour, set the cruise. We're set the cruise at 60 right there, and we're just rolling down the interstate here. Factory AC blows nice and cold. You have your standard power steering, power disc brakes. With the Vortex supercharger setup, you also have an aftermarket ignition. You have a Fireball ignition setup mounted on the transmission tunnel underneath there. In the glove box, you have a timing control knob. Overall, just an excellent driving Lightning, a really, really cool setup. On the interior, you have your factory graphite Lightning interior. Dash is in excellent condition. You do have some aftermarket white face gauge overlays. I have the originals that will go with the truck, so if someone wanted to put the black overlays back on the truck, you can. Nothing had to be modified to just take the original ones off and put these white ones on there. People did it back in the day. One of the most common modifications that I see on these Lightnings, and the white face gauges don't bother me at all. This would have originally been a center console truck. It has a fold down third seat now. It is not a factory Lightning fold down third seat. It looks very similar to a factory Lightning fold down third seat. But again, not an original one to this truck, but it does not bother me one bit because you got some cup holders, a little package area back there. And it looks, again, very, very close to an original jump seat that the Lightnings would have had. You have your standard options like tilt, cruise, obviously, power windows, power locks. We'll talk about that here a little bit later in the video. Your A-pillar boost gauge, and then out on the cowl, you have an aftermarket fuel pressure gauge. All that stuff is working properly. The items that I have listed as a no on this truck, it is a dual tank truck. It's currently working off of the rear tank. The front tank is bypassed, but if you want to set it up to have dual tanks, you can go back and rehook that back up. The voltage gauge is reading off just a little bit. And then same thing with the rear tank fuel gauge. Added some fuel to it, and the fuel gauge is moving. It's just, I don't believe it to be 100% accurate. But we're warmed up, so we'll get in the throttle, get into some boost here. And I'm running this on some pretty good gas. Whenever I get something that's modified like this and I don't have all the receipts for it, I always run better fuel. I got some, I believe 100, mixed it with some 93 and haven't had any running issues at all. So it runs great, very, very strong mechanically. Just an awesome driving Lightning. Underneath's very solid. Little bit of surface corrosion on the non-painted parts, but it's minimal at best. Exhaust has some surface corrosion. Does have flow masters. You do still have your side exit tips over on the passenger side behind the rear tire over there. On the exterior, it is a factory black Lightning. I believe the code is YC for 1993. Does appear to be original paint. You have some stone chips up front, some other miscellaneous little nicks in the paint, but overall, cosmetically, it is a good truck. Windshield trim surround, right rear view mirror would be where that trim is on the outside. There's like a little stone chip on the trim itself. You do have a nice spray and bed liner in the back. The rear bumper does have a ding on the very bottom part of it. You could have that fixed if you want to. In my additional informations tab on the website, there will be a screenshot of the Does It Work section. The Carfax will be in there. Cosmetic flaws that I found walking around the truck, you will see that as well. Photos of the extra paperwork. Gauge faces, there'll be a photo of that in there as well, so you guys can check that out. 17-inch Lightning wheels, great tires. I believe they are a 2025 date code. Just a really, really fun truck to drive with that supercharger. These trucks stock are fun to drive, but they're not crazy high horsepower, obviously being 240 horse and 340 foot-pounds of torque. But with that supercharger, even on a conservative setup, runs really well and it's fun to drive. Driving position is comfortable. You can slide the seat forward, slide it back. It tilts on the back as well if you need to get comfortable. Steering wheel is very nice. Glass is all really easy to see out of. A couple very, very minor little road imperfections. Side windows roll up and down properly. Vent windows don't have any wind noise coming through them. Sliding back glass. I didn't touch on it earlier, but the headliner and the visors are all really, really clean. Rear mirror doesn't have any haziness. You have your power mirrors over here on both sides, and they do function properly. You have your little overdrive button to kick it on, kick it off. You have your fog light switch. Got to turn your headlights on to get the fog lights to work, but they do work. Factory heat and AC controls work properly. The air in this truck is very nice and cold. And if you can see it in the video, you do also have an aftermarket knock alert right there. Just a really cool period correct, kind of older redone, or not older redone, but older modified SVT Lightning. The guy that I bought it from had it a really long time and did all the stuff a while ago. When you pop the hood, obviously it's got some aftermarket components in there with the supercharger. Has a cold air intake. Very clean, no rust issues on the firewall. The inner fenders are in really good shape. The charging system is doing its job. No dead batteries on this one. The battery checked out good. Alternator's doing its job. Fluids are all nice and clean. Radiator's checking out good. Just a short list of issues on this one. Just a few small things not working. Some small little imperfections in the cosmetics. But overall, a great first-gen Lightning. I always love these trucks. They're a lot of fun to drive. I've owned a ton of them over the years, and they are just great. And this one being a 62,000 mile truck, it is just really, really cool. All right, no one's coming. We can roll into the throttle, have a little bit heavier acceleration again. About 70 right there. And as always, I'm Mike. This is a 1993 Ford SVT Lightning with 62,000 miles, Vortex supercharged. From myself and everybody else here at PC Classic Cars, we appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of our test drives. Make sure you check out that additional information tab on the website, pcclassiccars.com, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.